Well, hello. Welcome back to Spending a Little Time with the Real American Cougar. We're going to talk about, since we've been on the Digital Hype and Create Your Life campaign here, we're going to talk about how to start creating your life. It's so hard to start things. So we're going to talk about that tonight. I am really happy to be back at it here. I took a little time off, and a little time off is good for the soul, and got me thinking and out and around and talking to people. And I thought that I should share with you my start, when I started creating my life, and give you some ideas how to go about it. It is hard to start any new thing. There's always a fear of the unknown, or fear of failure. There's lots of reason to be afraid to start. When I started this channel and the Facebook page, I was really anxious and really afraid to get started. I came here and I talked to Ron and Derek, and luckily they did not laugh at me. They thought that, yeah, maybe this would be a good thing to do, but I was really afraid, but I did it anyway. And now here I am talking to you guys. I still have some nights where I'll go do an episode here, and by the time I'm home or the next day, I'm just ready to text Derek and say, scrap it. I know it wasn't any good. But he makes it look good, and by the time he's done with it and I look it over, it's not that bad. So sometimes we have things that hold us back that really don't need to be there. And we're going to talk about how to start creating your life. It's we need a little bit of, a little push sometimes to get started. We're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of failure. Nobody wants to not make it. Nobody wants to be a failure and then be embarrassed, or it's a natural fear. Some people are looking for perfection, and no matter where they go, no matter where they look, it's going to be hard to get started because nothing compares to what they have in mind. And that is also natural, because with society, we're always focusing on what is the best, who is the best. Society sees the end product. They don't see all the steps that you took and all the struggle that you did to get to that end product, but they bring out the end product, so that we're looking for perfection in relationships, our jobs, who can make the best money, get the best promotion, buy the biggest house. That's the way it is in our society. We're always looking to be the best, the best, the best. And sometimes it's hard to get started because you just feel like it's not the right time, they aren't the right conditions. Your creation of your life is going to be like nobody else's. It depends on, where you came from, how long you've been alone, a lot of factors. But it's not going to be like anybody else's. The problem with not getting started is your fear of getting started. You're stuck in one place. If you don't start, there's plenty of reasons to start moving forward, to start investigating what you want your life to be. Start thinking about where your future is, because you do still have a future. Mature people out there, we still have a future, and I think it's our time right now. It's our time to create our life and live our best life. We still have a life, we still have a future, and we're free to create that now. So don't be just stuck in one place because you can't get started, or you're expecting something wonderful to just happen when it takes a little bit of progress to get there. Another thing that stops you from starting is that your inner critic comes out. When you're ready to start something new, or you're ready to take off something on your own, maybe for the first time in a long time, or maybe for the first time, then your inner critic is going to come out and say, well, it's probably not worth your time, or you can do that another day, or you don't really know what you're doing. That's what my inner critic told me when I started the channel, and when I started trying to create my life after everything that had happened to me, was that you don't know what you're doing, my inner critic told me. And at the time, maybe I didn't know what I was doing, but I had to start somewhere. And I knew I wanted something different. So that also has happened. And sometimes, if you're like me, I had a hard time getting out and just doing things because I had a hard time being around other people. I still have a hard time being around people once in a while. Excuse me. I just would rather stay home. It's easier for me to stay home. We take the path of least resistance a lot of the time, whatever is easiest, and it's easier for me to stay home instead of go out and socialize and be around people and react to things that happen to me outside of my own home. I have a whole different view of how I react to things, and I have to sometimes keep some things in check, and I have to sometimes get out there and try to socialize, whether I feel like it or not. I have to get out there. So it's not easy for me to be around other people. It's getting easier, but that's another thing that's going to stop you from getting started. And some people, and I used to be this way too, and I've over the last year or so, since I've come out of my shell and started creating my life, go along to get along. Sometimes it's just easier to not do anything. If you have a different opinion than someone else, you know that it's going to stir up a little bit of action. You know that somebody's going to react to it. You know that somebody's going to have something to say. This is your life. Remember, this is your life. This is the time that you have to build your future, to build your life the way you want it to be. Sometimes we just have to say, well, people need to understand my side of it, and that's what I'm going to do. It's easy to go along to get along, but it's not always for the best. You're easily controlled that way. Other people have power over you, and you want to claim your own power, and you want to create your own life. So what we can do to get started, first off, we have to decide that, yes, we are going to start. I used to do the thing, I was going to start a diet. I'll start on Monday. And Monday came, and then it was Tuesday. Well, I'll start on Monday. I'll start next Monday. And I never lost any weight that way. It just, I never ended up getting that diet started until I finally said, okay, enough, I'm starting. And about 30 pounds later down, it was worth starting. But I couldn't do that all at once. But I had to start somewhere. So visualize your outcome. Realize that there are many steps to get there. You're going to take many small steps to get to your final outcome. Consider all the endings. One thing you have to do is sit down and say, okay, this is my perfect scenario. This is what I want to happen. Within a year's time, I want to be this, this, and this. My scenario when I moved to my house was, God, I just wanted to feel like a human being again. Got moved to my home. Everything changed so quickly for me. Got moved to my home. It's been a little over a year. I'm happy there now. I had to organize everything, clean everything, put everything where it belonged. Little by little, I've gotten this and that and finished up. My home is pretty well finished now. As far as furnishings go, it's pretty well finished as far as cleaning and organizing. I still have a few things to go, but I had to start, pick out where I was going to start, and I had to start somewhere. And if you would imagine looking at one big basement room full of boxes and be one person, I had no idea where to start. No idea. And my living room was the same way. Boxes, just boxes were everywhere, and furniture and this and that everywhere. And it was like getting lost in a sea of stuff. But eventually, as time went on, I met my goal. I got everything situated, and I got myself a nice house. And I like it there. I keep it nice for myself. I was just thinking the other day while I was on vacation, man, I could just live like a slob. I'm the only person that lives here. I could just, leave my dirty clothes like here. I wouldn't have to pick them up, or, so what if there's some dirty dishes in the sink? And I could just live here however. And then I thought, nah, I don't think I'll do that. Even though it would be easy to do, I keep a nice place because I deserve a nice place. And I do it for myself. and it's well worth it. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me moving in the right direction. So all those things got me moving into the right direction when I figured out that, yes, I could do things on my own and I could handle it. That gave me more encouragement to be able to do other things on my own. Start simple. Remember the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Just start at the small things. Like I started getting my home together. I didn't feel like being out with people. I didn't feel like going out. I didn't feel like coming and doing this channel. I had no idea I was going to come and do this channel. I didn't feel like doing anything really, but I took small steps and I got my environment together and I made myself a comfortable environment and a soothing environment, and that helped. And so that was the thing that I started out with, simple. I kind of had to because I moved, but you know, I can still be sitting there with boxes all over. Nobody else lives there but me. You know, I could have just let that go. But I made a nice, comfortable, secure place for myself, and that helped me to keep moving on. And also, when you pick a project, finish what you start. I can tell you from years of experience that I had started many projects that I never finished, never got to see how it really looked when it was done, never got the satisfaction of knowing I had finished it. From now on, I try to finish what I start. I have several projects going, but I try to take some time to work on each one of those a little at a time. If I don't get to it this week, I'll get to it next week. But there are some projects also that I want to keep doing. I want to make a habit of because they're good for me. It's good for me to be able to look nice when I go to work. It's good for me to exercise. I've been doing some Tai Chi exercises and getting into some martial arts things, and those are things that are less strenuous on the joints, and I really do feel a lot better. I can move a lot better. So I'm starting with simple things, starting to make good habits with simple things. It's hard for you to follow through with things, one thing that I do and that you can also do too is to make yourself a list. And when you accomplish the small things on the list, you check them off. And it gives you a very good feeling of satisfaction to have 5 things on the list. And hey, I got 2 things checked off. And I've only got 3 things to go. And sometimes when I have a day that I don't want to do things, I make the list. And I look at it and I'm like, you know, if I don't get started somewhere, it's never going to get done. So I start on the list, I start checking them off. Sometimes I start at the top, sometimes I start at the middle, but I check them off as I go. And it gives me a feeling of accomplishment that I have completed the list in however long it takes to complete the list, but it is completed. So that helps. One thing that really helps too is to celebrate your small wins. I have celebrated a few small wins in the last year. I celebrated getting my house together. I celebrated making it through the winter. I celebrated being able to get enough firewood from my outdoor pile of firewood into my house, which is something to celebrate because I do most of it by myself. My son came and he helped me for a day. But I take the lawn tractor out in the little pull trailer and I fill it up and I bring it to the garage and I stack it in and then I go out and get another one. And so for me to have the garage full of firewood, that's an accomplishment for me. I am ready for the winter. I know I'm not going to have to go out there in the snow. And that's a win for me. Last year I wasn't prepared at all, and it was a pain. And I was out in the snow with the sled, piling firewood in the sled, bringing it in, waiting for it to dry. So I've met my goal of being prepared this winter, and that means a lot. I met my goal. I didn't get to meet my goal with all my fruit trees and all the things that I wanted to do, one person, and I didn't really get to take care of everything the way I wanted to, but I am looking forward to next spring. Because now I know when they'll be coming out, when the different trees will be coming out, when things will be coming ripe, when I'm going to need extra help, what I'm going to need to do to keep my stuff healthy. So I can work on that through this winter, and next spring I'll be ready because I know when I'm going to need to be ready now. So you learn as you go. You make little wins as you go. The main thing is to start. Just start. Pick a day or pick a now. Start now even. Starting now would be a good time to start to create your life It takes 3 weeks to form a habit, as we talked about. It does take effort. You do need to keep plugging along if you're serious about creating your life and you want to live your best, fullest life for the years that you've got left, as I do. You need to start, decide you're going to start, you're ready to start. Takes 3 weeks to form a habit. Just keep doing that good routine, making those good little goals, win those little wins, and you'll find out that maybe a year from now that you'll have a lot of wins to celebrate, and you will be living a totally different life. I myself am living a totally different life now since I decided to take control of my own life and create my own life. You're never ever too old to start enjoying your life. So keep an open mind. Keep an open mind at all times. Learn new things. Learning new things keeps you fresh, keeps you going. Start now and stick with it. And enjoy the struggle. After you've been through all your years of struggle and you can take off and start creating your life, you're going to feel like a whole new individual. You'll look back and you'll say, well, I was able to enjoy working through all these things and getting to where I'm at. And that's going to give you a lot of self-satisfaction. So I know it's hard to get started, but I'm sure you can do it. I did it, and you can do it. And if you want to get a hold of me, you want to let me know what you're doing to get started to create your life, get a hold of me on the Facebook page, Real American Cougar. You can send me an email at racmatureculture@gmail.com. You can give comments below the video here. I'm so glad we have subscribers. We're up to about 40 subscribers now. Hey, you go. You go, guys. Getting into the revolution here, ditching the hype, create your life. Leave your baggage, start now, and keep walking forward. Thanks. Nice to be with you. Peace out.